Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we'll learn about 14 psychology tricks that actually work. Now, let's begin. Can you predict how people think or behave? Masters of human psychology sometimes feel like they're hacking their lives, like they're living with cheat codes turned on. People assume the things that we do every day, from daily habits to major life decisions, are spontaneous and unique. But most ideas, habits, and behaviors are determined by common psychological patterns which you can learn and master. For example, think about common psychological tendencies like cognitive biases. A cognitive bias is any error in our thinking that modifies our behavior. Many cognitive biases also change our habits, and they lead us to make illogical decisions. In either case, these and other biases make our behavior surprisingly predictable. If you understand common cognitive biases and how they work, you'll discover a surprising amount about human nature, and you may be able to predict what people do and say. To the average person, it might seem like magic, but you know that it's just human psychology. Psychological insights come in handy in a wide variety of situations. Understanding how people think will help you make persuasive arguments, climb the professional ladder, and cultivate respect in the workplace. If you can predict how people behave in social situations, then you can create faster connections and you can leave longer-lasting impressions. At an even more basic level, mastering human psychology will keep your life running smoothly. Oh, but that's not all. Psychological knowledge not only gives you advantages in life, but it also protects you from anyone trying to use your tendencies against you. Unfortunately, there are people out there who may try to confuse or manipulate you. If you don't know what to look for, toxic and malicious people will pull the wool over your eyes. However, if you know the details of human psychology, then you can see through their tricks and maybe just turn the tables in your favor. So, what do you need to know about human psychology? Which tricks and life hacks are more valuable for you? In this video, we're going to explore some of the most profound insights, all derived from leading psychological research. The ways that people think and behave may seem like a mystery for now, but with these 14 psychological tricks, you can unlock the secrets of the human mind. Number 1. The Bandwagon Effect. People are more likely to do things if others are doing them too. This is known as the bandwagon effect. When we see people flocking to something, we assume it must be good, interesting, or valuable. So we naturally gravitate toward the same thing. You can actually use this powerful psychological trick to your advantage. For example, if you want somebody to like something, you talk about how much others enjoy it. That's often all it takes to completely change somebody's mind. Number 2. The door in the face technique. Ask for a favor directly, and most people will say no. For example, if you ask to borrow $20, most people will turn you down instantly. But there's an easy psychological trick that you can use to get what you want. And here's how it works. The next time you want something, ask for much more than you need. In this case, ask to borrow $50 instead of $20. Now at first, people will turn you down. Try asking again, but this time ask for the original $20. You'd be surprised how many people will lend you the money. Why? Well, because they think they got the better end of the deal, even if you got exactly what you wanted. Number 3. Start with agreement. The next trick sounds simple, but it's a surprisingly powerful technique that can change how you interact with people. Psychologists have found that we are more receptive to information from someone they think shares our opinions. In other words, if you agree with someone, they're more likely to listen to you. Use phrases like, "You're right," or "I totally agree," and most people will be more interested in what you have to say afterwards. Number 4. The cocktail party effect. Humans can identify familiar sounds even in the noisiest environments. At a party, for example, even though they're surrounded by music and people, your ears perk up when you hear the voice of someone you know. Now, the same thing happens when we hear the sound of our name. No matter how busy our environment seems, when we hear our name, we instantly become alert and attentive. So the next time you want to get somebody's attention, say their name out loud. Use it naturally throughout any conversation, and people will stay focused on you. Number 5. The power of calm. How you react to experiences often determines how those experiences impact your life. In other words, if you panic, any situation can quickly spiral out of control, but if you hardly bat an eye, the trickiest situations can resolve themselves. Use the power of calm in your own life to easily solve conflicts and neutralize chaotic situations. When something frustrating or unexpected happens, don't lose your cool. Act as if nothing has changed, like it's any other day at the office. If you stay calm, the tension will disappear in a heartbeat. Number 6. Spontaneous trait transference. How you describe other people speaks volumes about who you are. At least that's what most people think. This phenomenon is called spontaneous trait transference. We tend to associate traits that people use to describe others with their own personalities. So if you describe someone as kind or funny, people will assume that you're kind and funny too. In other words, if you say good things about the people around you, they'll see the same goodness in you. Number 7. Identify real needs. People are always searching for ways to satisfy their deeper needs like love, safety, and happiness. Once you understand this concept, you can make people care about almost anything. You just tell them how it makes their life better, you identify a real need, and you give people the solution they've seemingly always needed. If you seem to satisfy a real need in their life, then you'll be more persuasive than ever. Number 8. The reciprocity effect. If you want someone to help you, you first need to help them. Humans are programmed to reciprocate the kindness we receive, so if you do a favor for somebody, they may feel compelled to assist you in a similar way. To make the most of this psychological trick, start with a small favor. Hold the door open for someone, or give them directions to a store. Even these tiny favors create a sense of debt. Once someone feels indebted to you, they're significantly more receptive to whatever you need. Number 9. Delayed rationalization. How do you know when you've made a good decision? We often don't decide if a decision is productive until after we make it. Psychologists call this common phenomenon delayed rationalization. After making a choice, we reflect on our actions and decide whether then and there if we did the right thing. But that gives you an opportunity to change their mind. When someone makes a choice, tell them after the fact how good of a choice it was. Make them confident in their decisions, and they'll walk away happier and more satisfied. Number 10. Tear down your hedges. Many people unconsciously undermine their authority. How? Well, by using popular phrases called hedges. Well, just take this statement. I think I worked for about 8 hours today. This short sentence includes not one but two common forms of hedging. Words like about or around demonstrate a level of uncertainty, while I think shows a fundamental lack of confidence. Now, compare the previous sentence with a more direct statement like, I worked 8 hours today. The latter sounds powerful and authoritative because no hedges are getting in the way. Number 11. Cut the negativity. Negativity can be psychologically destructive. When people hear negative comments, they become hesitant and reserved, and they're much less receptive to what others have to say. Instead, give them compliments and put them in a good mood. By leading with positivity, people assume you have their best interests in mind, making you more likable and persuasive. Number 12. Start small, then build up. Imagine you have a big favor to ask someone. You're worried that they might say no. So how can you increase your odds of success? The trick is to start small and build your way up. Instead of asking for a big favor right away, ask for something small like telling the time. Even if it's something quick and straightforward, favors have a powerful effect on our brains. When we help someone, we find ways to justify our actions to ourselves. We convince ourselves that certain people are worth helping, making us more likely to help them again. Number 13. The fear of missing out. Value isn't as objective as most people think. If you know how people think, then you can make almost anything seem interesting or valuable. This psychological trick plays upon a more modern social concept. Most people in the world today are afraid of missing out on things that other people have or experience. And because of that fear, we overvalue things that are rare, scarce, and exclusive. For example, people will pay significantly more if an item is only available for a limited time. Whether the item is of a higher quality, it really doesn't seem to matter. The rarer it becomes, the more people want it for themselves. Number 14. Unconscious mirroring. Sometimes you can influence people's thoughts and judgments without saying a word. And here's how you do it. The next time you're talking to someone, try nodding your head as you talk. Humans unconsciously mirror each other, so you might notice the other person nodding back. And that starts to influence their opinions. Suddenly, they begin to agree with the things you say. They may even become more receptive to your views. Why? Well, because the right psychological tricks can move, influence, and persuade people more than you realize. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.